Hello everyone, this is Name on Family Travel Africa. I'm here with my first daughter, Mbogta, and today we are going to be making a Jamaican Christmas fruitcake or Caribbean Christmas fruitcake. You can see we are in our Christmas spirit, wearing our Christmas sweaters. One of the things that is truly special to me is baking, and baking was introduced to me first by no other than my mom. On the weekends, she would get in the kitchen and she loved to bake. And because of that, I saw so much baking, did so much baking as a kid, and it just so happens I love baking as much. So this is kind of special because Bogta gets to do with me what I got to do with my mom so many times growing up as a kid. So, Bogta, you ready to do this?
For sure. This recipe is from Alicia's Pepper Pot, and we're going to show you what we have done so far. Here we have 2 cups of sugar, and in this we have 3 cups of pureed fruits that's been like soaking or sitting.
It's usually soaked in rum for a couple of months, and so we'll talk a little bit more about what's in it in a little bit.
And then here we have 2.5 cups of flour. Here we have 12 eggs, 4 sticks of butter, and then zest from 1 lime and 1 orange.
Okay, and you can see there's a whole array of spices. You have cinnamon, almond extract, vanilla extract. We've got here cloves, nutmeg, and allspice, baking powder, browning, which is burnt sugar. She actually has a section of her recipe where you can make your own, or you can just buy it from the store like we did, and some salt.
So our first step, we're going to head over to the stand mixer, and we're going to cream our butter and our sugar.
So those 4 sticks of butter were room temperature, so they're very soft. And we're going to go ahead and cream it with the 2 cups of sugar. Got our 4 sticks of butter in there, and we want to start creaming. So it's been going for about a minute, and we're going to scrape down the sides and cream it for another 15 seconds or so, and then we'll move on. Now that we creamed our butter with sugar, the next step is some of the lime zest. And we have our zest from 1 orange all going in there. And you can start mixing while I measure out our extracts. And here we have 1 teaspoon of our vanilla, and 1 teaspoon of our almond. The almond always gives some extra oomph to your vanilla. Whoever discovered that was just a chemical genius. And we don't have the mixed essence extract, but we'll make up for it with our allspice. Alright, so now that we've mixed all of that up, we are going to move on to our next step. So let's put this here so you can place that on top. Alright, perfect. And our next step is to mix our dry ingredients. So now we're going to mix our, we're actually going to measure and put our dry ingredients all together. So for the baking powder, it's going to be 2 teaspoons. And what's kind of interesting, I was talking with a friend yesterday in Bonta, and I was telling her how much I love baking, obviously. And she said, you know, I've heard that it's very therapeutic, but I just don't find it that way. It's kind of stressful because you have to measure everything out, and if anything goes wrong, it's like an experiment, and if it doesn't work out perfectly, you don't end up with a good product, and then you can't eat it. And I guess that's a little true. So that was 2 teaspoons, and this is going to be 1.5. So I'm going to start with my 1 of my cinnamon, and I get the point, but I still think practice makes perfect, and half of the time when you're getting started, you're not going to have exactly what you want. But I have to say, over the years, not only have I enjoyed it more, but the results have been very satisfying, right, Bongta?
Yes.
You've kind of watched me evolve, even though you were much younger when I started, but it's really been, at this point, it's kind of like a labor of love. So this one is going to be 1/2 teaspoon, and that's our nutmeg. Jamaican seasonings often call for nutmegs and cloves and allspice, cinnamon, ginger. All of those are very familiar. And now we're down to our 1/4. And so we're going to use our 1/4 measure here for the cloves. And the same thing for our allspice. Now, because we didn't have the mixed spice essence, I tend to double up on the allspice if I can. I may not have enough to do that. So here's another 1/4 of your allspice. And if you have that mixed essence, just use it, but you can see I gave a little extra to our allspice there. And so Bongta just mix that up as best you can. And so the next part would be going back to our stand mixer and getting our dry and wet ingredients into what we have over there, which is our creamed butter and sugar.
So first we're gonna add the eggs, and then like the fruit soak, and then we're gonna add the flour that we just mixed with like our dry ingredients.
Okay, I'm gonna start on low. Add your eggs just a little at a time, maybe a 1/3 first. So now we're gonna put our macerated fruit, and Bongta is just gonna spoon that in. So the good news is our food processor, as tiny as it is, can handle 3.5 cups. And you can also just do that.
Oh,
yeah.
I got the list.
There you go. And so the recipe called for 3 heaping cups. And my daughter was asking me, what is heaping? I said, well, it's definitely not level. And so 3.5 is about what we have in this tiny food processor. And we're putting it in there. Let's go ahead and mix this half, and then we'll mix the other half in a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Put the rest in. And just so everyone knows, this mixed fruits, it's raisins, it's prunes, it's currants, it's mixed peel, cranberries, cherries, dried pineapple. It's such a blend, and it really can be whatever you want to put in it. So don't feel obligated. And traditionally soaked for a couple of months in some rum or sherry, and you can make this non-alcoholic too. So there are a lot of options. Alicia's Pepper Pot did a really great job of walking us through, and when you read through it, you can decide how you would like to do it. So definitely check out her site. The whole idea is it's going to have this super dark look once we add the burnt sugar or browning to it. She recommended not adding more than 4 tablespoons if you're going to use the store-bought. So we're gonna add 3 and see how it looks.
Oh my goodness!
So our 4th tablespoon. We are using 3 8-inch round baking pans, and we will try to divide this evenly amongst our pans. As you can see, we had some parchment paper. Makes it super easy when this cake is coming out. This smells so good. I can only imagine how good it's going to taste. Alright, so 300 degrees Fahrenheit, 80 minutes. Bogta, you're already taller than me. You don't have to get on your tippy toes. Okay, it's been like 2 months since you grew past me. Anyhow, we have 3 beautiful, what are these?
Fruitcakes.
Yes, so we have these Christmas Caribbean fruitcakes, and of course you can't forget the all-ever ingredient, the rum. And so typically that alcohol that you had soaked the fruits in, when you take them out, you will kind of soak your rum cake in it. Because there are tons of kids, what we did was we used some cherry juice, like the water that comes out of your maraschino cherries. We use that on this. This is for the kids. This is the adult version, and so I'm going to use a little bit of rum. And you just kind of pour it all over. And just so everyone knows, it soaks in. Yeah, it soaks in. Super easy. This tastes best like 3 days after you've made it. This is a nice gift. That one is going to be shared, and this one is for us. So, ready to taste?
It's rum.
You can smell the rum, but we're going to taste this one. All right. So let's go ahead and take these out. These are super easy to take out. As you can see, that parchment paper works wonders. Yes. And we're just going to put that up here. Momta, you do the honors. Give us a slice.
Oh, yes. That.
All right. Let's try it out.
What a beauty.
Make sure, yeah, that paper. Oh, wow. This is nice. That's a tiny slice, but it's good to start. Let's try this out. This is very good. So those macerated fruit, you can taste just little nibbles of it, but it's really not too sweet, very moist, soft, kind of crumbly, as you can see here. Of course, if we had doused this with a little bit more alcohol, it would just enhance all the flavors. But this is totally for the kids, so we'll let you all at home do that, you adults making your own, and enjoy it with that flavor. So, Mocha, come on. Thank you all for watching. Okay. As you can see, she's finished hers, and we're going to go on to sharing with the rest of our crew.
So fun.
Comment, share, like, subscribe, do what you do. And until next time.
Bye. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah. That's good. I hope you like my video. Yes, you do. Subscribe.